I'm sure of it.
Yeah, you don't actually want to watch it.
I don't know.
Are you spending my money on that?
Validator down in the other room. I don't want to lose it.
One so far. I was going to wait until you can taste the one out so far. Okay, so then no one.
You're right.
You know, the 11 o'clock news starts at 11 o'clock.
Should we start this again? Roll call, Ms. LeBreau.
Present, but the mics aren't working.
There you go. You're good now.
I can turn it
Okay. Yes, you can turn everybody off. Okay. So don't press that button. Mr. Barnes.
Present.
Ms. Cantor's absent. Mr. Davidoff.
Here.
Mr. Dodge.
Here.
Ms. Fay will be coming shortly. Ms. Kerrigan. Mr. Sweeney. Mr. Winograd.
Here.
And Mr. Williams.
Here.
Thank you. The purpose of our meeting tonight is to discuss whether the town of West Hartford should purchase the University of Connecticut West Hartford campus. In December 2017, the Town Council determined that the acquisition of the campus was not in the best interest of the town and voted to terminate the purchase and sale agreement with the university. Under Connecticut General Statute, Section 3-14B, the town now has a second opportunity to purchase the property from the university. It's important to note, however, that under the statute, the terms and conditions must match what has been agreed to by Seven Stars Cloud Group. Seven Stars Cloud Group has entered into an agreement with the university to acquire the West Hartford campus as is, and with all faults for the purchase price of $5,200,000. Seven Stars will be responsible for all the required environmental cleanup and related indemnification of the university and the state. Excuse me. They must release all claims against UConn and the state relating to the physical condition of the property, including environmental conditions. They must obtain a letter of credit of up to $8 million for the fulfillment of the cleanup obligations, and they must purchase a pollution legal liability insurance policy and be responsible for paying the premium up to $250,000. Again, if the town wishes to purchase the property, it must match these terms and conditions. Number 1 on the agenda is the public forum. The public forum section is for comments from the public on an item on the agenda that is not a subject to a public hearing. Anybody who wishes to speak on the issue whether the town should purchase the University of West Hartford campus under the same terms and conditions as agreed to by Seven Stars Cloud is welcome to come up and speak. There is a 3-minute time limit for each speaker, 5-minute for groups, and Ms. LeBreau has a 30-second sign. I have a motion. No, we have a...
There's nobody on the sign-up sheet.
Nobody on the sign-up sheet, okay. There's nobody signed up, but if there's anybody in the audience that would like to speak to something on the agenda that's not the subject of a public hearing, you can come up now. Thank you. Number 2, Mr. Davidoff.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Item number 2 is discussion of the sale of the sale of University of Connecticut West Hartford campus and possible action with respect thereto.
Second.
Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to adopt a resolution concerning the University of Connecticut West Hartford campus.
I'd like to second, Madam Mayor.
Any discussion? Dallas?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And with your indulgence and just for the benefit of the audience, the resolution that we have before us is relatively short, and so I'd like to read it out loud if I could. And the resolution reads as follows. Whereas in July 2016, the town of West Hartford entered into an agreement with the University of Connecticut to purchase the university's West Hartford campus, and whereas after a lengthy due diligence period and significant deliberation by the town council determined that the acquisition of the campus was not in the best interests of the town and voted in December 2017 to terminate the purchase and sale agreement with the university. And whereas Seven Stars Cloud Group Incorporated has entered into an agreement with the university to acquire the former West Hartford campus as is for a purchase price of $5.2 million, and, among other conditions, to be responsible for all required environmental cleanup and related indemnification of the university and the state, to obtain a letter of credit of up to $8 million for the fulfillment of said cleanup obligations, and to purchase a pollution legal liability insurance policy with the buyer paying the premium, up to $250,000. And whereas the university has offered the town the opportunity to purchase the property under the same terms as already agreed to by Seven Stars Cloud Group Incorporated, now therefore be it resolved that the town manager is authorized to formally decline the university's offer to purchase its former West Hartford campus under the same terms and conditions as agreed to between the university and Seven Stars Cloud Group Incorporated. So, as you alluded to, Madam Deputy Mayor, and is mentioned in the resolution before us, in 2016, the council voted unanimously to purchase the Yukon property for $5 million. And at the time, I believe there was general agreement amongst the members of the council that this was a unique opportunity to directly control the future of a very large, very important parcel of land in the heart of West Hartford. And after that, we hit a few snags in the road, to say the least. First, we learned that there's much more deferred maintenance on the property than was originally anticipated, and most of the infrastructure is also in very poor condition. And in some cases, it's almost unusable and probably beyond repair. Second, we also discovered the presence of PCBs and other environmental contaminants on the property, which need to be remediated. And third, in the midst of the due diligence process, we were forced to contend with a series of state budget proposals from the governor that would have had a devastating impact on the town. And although much of our state funding was ultimately restored, I think that we all remain very cognizant of the budget challenges that the town continues to face. So in light of all this, Yukon agreed to reduce the purchase price to $1 million and extend the due diligence period at no cost to the town. And we agreed, albeit along party lines at this time, to continue trying to negotiate a final sale agreement with Yukon. But at the end of the last year, after I think it was 7 extensions of the due diligence period, Yukon basically said to the town that it was time to fish or cut bait. So at that point, the committee that I chair, the Economic Development Subcommittee, held a series of intensive meetings on this issue. We met with town staff and special legal counsel with expertise in environmental issues, and as well as engineering and planning consultants who had experience in developing and cleaning up this type of site. And at the end of the day, we just couldn't get a sufficient comfort level with the scope and the cost of the remediation. And so given the potential costs and the uncertainties, we concluded that it was not an appropriate risk for the town to take on. And since then, I don't know that much has changed, and we need to keep in mind that the sole question that's before us tonight is whether to match the purchase offer of Seven Stars Cloud. In other words, should the town spend in excess of $5 million to purchase a massive property, as is, that has unremediated environmental problems and aged, deteriorating infrastructure? And for me, the answer is clearly no, which is why I will be voting in favor of the resolution. And having said all of that, I'm very mindful of the significance of the property to the town. It's 52 acres of mostly open land, directly abutting densely populated residential neighborhoods, and it's just a stone's throw away from one of the most important commercial districts, from one of our major commercial districts in town. And this is why we directed the administration last year to proceed with a community engagement process, with the understanding that we would need at least some limited development of the property. The town cannot simply allow it to go fallow, nor can we afford to create a 52-acre park. The community engagement process included public surveys, outreach to relevant stakeholders, and 3 public meetings, the end result of which was a community vision statement that was unanimously adopted by the council last spring. And given the restrictive zoning on the property, the council, as the final land use authority in town, will maintain significant control over the future development of the site. And I think all of us will certainly take the community vision statement into account when we consider any future proposals for the development of the site. And I would encourage Seven Stars Cloud to take a careful look at it as they proceed forward. And finally, just as chairman of the Economic Development Subcommittee, I want to welcome Seven Stars Cloud to West Hartford. Although we still have a lot to learn about the proposed development, I believe it's a credit to West Hartford that our town is so attractive to an international company investing in cutting-edge financial technology. I imagine their interest in West Hartford is what's drawn so many other individuals and businesses here. Top-quality public schools, a vibrant restaurant and entertainment scene, great town parks and services, and most importantly, a wonderful sense of community. And so having said all that, Madam Deputy Mayor, I would encourage my fellow town councilors to also vote in favor of the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dodge. Any other comments? Comments on your end? No one else? That being said, we are ready to vote on adopting a resolution concerning the University of Connecticut West Hartford Campus. Roll call, Ms. LeBreau.
Mr. Barnes?
Yes. Going in favor of the resolution?
Yes.
In favor.
Yes, in favor, yes.
Mr. Davidoff?
Yes.
Mr. Dodge?
Yes.
Ms. Fay?
Yes.
Ms. Kerrigan?
Yes.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Winograd?
Yes.
And Mr. Williams?
Yes.
It's unanimous.
The motion is adopted. I do want to just say thank you, Mr. Dodge, chairing the Economic Development, as well as Ben and Fritz Barnes. I think you did a great job shepherding us through a very difficult decision. I think we all made a really good one, so this is great for West Hartford. Before I make a motion to adjourn this meeting, I do want to say goodbye to Kimberly Bonham, who this is her last meeting, and for me personally has been really instrumental in helping me every time I have to fill in as being mayor. So thank you so much, Kim. I personally will miss you, and I know you brought a lot to the town for your 31-odd years, or however long it's been. Thank you. Anyone else? On that, we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The meeting's adjourned.
I'll pass it off.